Alright my friends, welcome back. This is game number 2 here between Jimpo and Adel. This time we are on Tal'Darim Altar. Adel as our orange Protoss player spawning in the lower right hand spawn location. And then up over here in the upper left hand position we've got Jimpo as the pink Terran player. Alright, so a quick little recap of last game as I always like to do. We saw Jimpo open up with that Hellion Harass, and although his drop with the Hellions wasn't able to do much damage, as he lifted up those 4 Hellions into the medevac and dropped it into Adel's main, Adel responded by pulling all of his forces, and that allowed Jimpo's second group of Hellions to just lay waste to the probes at Adel's natural expansion. So right there, was able to, look at that Adel, yeah, I'll agree with that. And again, you know, he was able to do some economic damage and set Adel behind, but the biggest problem for Adel was he got destroyed. He absolutely got destroyed, and he did not respond. Not only was Storm not done, as they're discussing here, but he just let his guys sit there, and it was unbelievable. He had just zealots and stuff just sitting there and doing absolutely nothing as he was getting worked. So, oh well, they're having a nice little conversation about it there. But yes, I would say that Adel kind of threw game number 1 away. Hopefully this time, game number 2 is going to be a little bit better without such a large mistake. Look at this, guys. They're just all over the place. All right, so Jimpo starting out here with a very standard opener, 10 depot, 12 racks, and 13 refinery. Here comes this scouting SCV now moving out, and let's actually see where he will be going. There's no actually rally point for him, so hard to tell. We'll be able to tell in just a moment, though. And yes, it looks like he will be going down to that lower left-hand position first and then the lower right. So at that point, he'll be scouting Adel. Adel, again, looks to be pretty standard here as well. Let's take a look at what he's going to do with his Cybernex core. I'll be interested to see if he actually decides to drop it right down here. Again, kind of going for that wall formation against Hellions. And there it is. Yet again, the same type of formation there to try to prevent Hellions from being that effective. All right, SCV Scout spotting the incorrect position. It'll be turning face in just a moment. Now we got Marines churning out over here. He's working up his way into Vespene, so we will be seeing that factory there very shortly. As soon as he gets to that 100 Vespene. Ooh, never mind at all. Tech Lab coming out for Jimpo. A little bit of a different opening here from him. Now we may see a Reaper. The other thing that we could be seeing is some very early Marauders for some early aggression. Let's keep an eye on Jimpo as to what he is going to decide to do. Pylon again placed at the front of the base. Cybercore now finished, so we should be seeing a Stalker as well as that Warp Gate research from him, and that is exactly what we will be seeing. He's also still on the 1 assimilator, so we may very well actually be seeing from him, we may be seeing another 1 gate expand build. Take a look at this. So Reaper coming at the same time as concussive shells. The Reaper for scouting, the early concussive shells for Marauder aggression. I'm really intrigued to see what Jimpo is going to decide to do in terms of an opening. Now, Probe scouting the upper right position, realizing that is not Jimpo. He's now moving to upper left, so he'll be scouting him out shortly. But that Reaper already making its way across the map, and here comes that first Marauder as well. Jimpo still on 1 racks, and that will of course be the case, and he will be coming out with an expansion as well. That's the assumption here. So the Marine's going to be blocking the front with that Marauder, and the SCV of course now building that command center. There it is, and the Reaper just making its way across the map. Now here comes the Probe Scout, and he makes it far enough in to check that command center. So now he knows indeed. Trying to hide the Marauder, deciding to turn face and get that last shot there on the Probe, just to make sure he doesn't get in the base. But again, that Reaper Scout will be moving in very shortly. Very nice positioning here by Adel to deal with this Reaper. He's going to have no problem denying that from moving in and oh no, pulls back with the Stalker. That's unfortunate because here comes the Reaper, and he'll be getting that scouting intel that he needs. Spotting still just 1 gateway. There's a second and gateway over there, as well as a forge. Adel going for the exact same style opening. All the probes pulling off the line as his units are just way too far away to deal with that Reaper. He wants to make sure he doesn't lose too many workers. In fact, he hasn't lost a single one. That Reaper got 0 kills. That is a sad story indeed. Stalker moving forward, getting 1 shots, 2 shots. Can't get the 3rd. The Reaper makes it back home nice and safe. And there we go, a little bit of forces here out front for Jimpo. Let's take a look at transition. A couple more racks getting placed down. Second refinery coming up over here. And the stim pack research has now started. And exactly the same opening here that we're going to be seeing here from Adel. Again, he opens up 1 gate into expand, goes with that forge, getting armor upgrade nice and early. And as such, we'll be delaying his robo by quite a bit. Going to be dropping a few workers over here, 3 in fact, on that assimilator, and then moving down to saturate that natural expansion. But yes, the same style opening, so I would not be too surprised if we're also going to see that Twilight Council and some Storm going down. But hopefully this time he doesn't forget to research that Storm for his High Templar. Again, Jimpo obviously clearly going for a much different build. He will be sticking with that bio heavy, which is kind of the bread and butter here in this matchup for TVP, and then finally working his way as well up into factory starport for some double medevacs to get some heal in action and some drop in action, and actually preparing right now for his third here as well. And here comes the Twilight Council. So look at that, lo and behold, pretty much the exact same composition and opener. But again, this time Adel, for one, hasn't dealt with any Hellion Harass, which would set him back. But again, he'll probably be much more on point this time when it comes to that Storm research, because last time he was definitely way off base with that. All right, so there it is. Quick third here from Adel. He's feeling pretty confident right now in his unit composition and his build of choice, especially since his armor upgrade is now just finishing. Right now, he will also be sitting on 4 gateways, a total of 4 gateways as he works his way into his third base. Very risky getting a third this early, though, even with that level 1 armor upgrade. It is still very risky indeed. Actually going straight for level 2 armor upgrades, bypassing the weapons upgrades for now. And back over here for Jimpo, we can see actually Reactor coming down on that factory, made for that hot swap. Once that starport finishes, we'll be seeing those double Hellions. There's no question about that. We've got Stimpack as well as Concussive Shell Research. No combat shield at the moment. And Jimpo is actually, wow, going in a defensive stance here as he comes out with that bunker. Probably really concerned about a timing push here from Adel, much like what he saw last game. He just wants to make sure he's all set against something like that as he's still working his way up into medevac action. Level 1 weapons upgrade also coming out here for Jimpo. And hopefully Jimpo gets some scouting down sometime soon. Now we still got that Reaper in play, but he really hasn't seen much than what he initially saw when he moved in with that Reaper. Doesn't really know precisely what he's up against. Hasn't even dropped a scan either. And definitely doesn't know about this third right now. I mean, he's just none the wiser at the moment. Yeah, absolutely not a clue. But here comes the Marine right now, actually making its way just around, checking for proxy pylons and or a probe. And again, this is about the time that a push came last game. Actually, no, I believe he came at 11 minutes, but he also dropped Hellion Harass. So without that, sans Hellion Harass, this is about the time any type of push may be coming here from Adel. So that is why he's checking for it. We got Charge upgrade coming out here for Adel. A couple more gateways as well. And again, as we can see, that level 2 armor upgrade, again, very close to finish here. And he's also coming out with 2 additional gateways. So we're going to be seeing Charge, very Charge Zealot heavy here. Adel will, in fact, be a couple of sentries thrown in the mix as well. But as of now, that is all that he's looking at. All right, so hopefully we do see some action sometime soon. Jimpo could be working his way up to some drop harass. That is certainly a possibility. He's coming out with a couple of more racks, also working up level 1 armor upgrade. So he's got level 1 weapons already. Working to get up that armor. I would like to see him destroy these rocks sometime soon so that he can actually go ahead and prepare to move into a third. Now, we do have a push coming out here with that Charge Zealot army. You can see that Charge Research just finished. He's got the 2 armor upgrades and actually just now starting the level 1 weapons upgrade. He's going to have no problem getting map control as he moves forward with that first Zealot as well as that Stalker. And now all of a sudden Jimpo knows, okay, something's coming. Time for me to respond. And what the heck is going on? That that missile turret was burning for one reason or another. Now we got a couple more, not a couple. How many bunkers does one Terran player need to fend off a timing push? This is unreal. Look at all these bunkers coming out here for Jimpo, but if he can get these all up in time, then he is going to be sitting pretty against a push like this. And we do have a drop that actually took place back here. Not sure how much damage he managed to do, only killing off 1 worker, though. Can't imagine it was that much. We take a look at the resources lost count. Yeah, not a whole heck of a lot happened there. Jimpo is moving forward with the factory scout. Now keep in mind, this medevac is still alive and kicking, and he still is prepared for another drop. That is just unreal, the amount of bunkers that we see here. And Jimpo still on 2 bases. That's a huge concern. He still has no idea about this third. He does not know that the third came as quickly as it did. And I'm feeling a little bit concerned here for Jimpo, as he does seem like he is quite a bit behind in resources. He is definitely behind. And still nowhere near even trying to expand. So what we could very well be seeing here from Jimpo, and what appears to be the case, is he's looking to actually work up a very large 2-base push, just work his way up to 200, and then try to move out and punish his opponent for expanding. But you know what? Adel has had ample feedback on the medevac. See you later. That High Templar is like, what? And then he blows up the medevac. That's hilarious. I love it. I love it so much. All right, so yeah, now the High Templar are in play. We've got that Blink Research also coming out, and right now Adel's moving into a 4th. Jimpo is so far behind. He's got 1-1 upgrades, okay? He's coming out with some Ghosts now, finally. 1 in play already. He's got a second one coming through. But if we take a look at Adel, he's already 2-1. He's going to be 2-2 in the not-too-distant future. He's got Charge upgrade, Blink Research, No storm actually for him, and I do want to take a quick look. Let's see if, where is that Temporal Archives? Where are you? There you are. So yeah, he hasn't researched it. It's not even bothering researching it for now. And Jimpo is finally moving out as he's laying down his third base here. But I'm a little bit concerned for Mr. Jimpo. I have to be quite honest with you. Adel seems pretty significantly ahead at the moment. We're going to see Jimpo actually start to move out right now with his bio as he wants to try to maintain some map control. We get a Marine spawning back here just in case the probe tries to drop a pylon. However, here we go. Charged Zealot's going to take him out, no problem whatsoever. 2-1 upgrades. That's one dead Marine, most certainly. Zealot over here is scouting for a expansion. This Zealot will also be scouting for an expo. Looks like those Marines, though, should be able to take him out. And charge Zealot High Templar, and here comes that Storm. Also dropping a Robotics Bay so that he can make a switch into Colossus if he deems it necessary. But Adel economically is way far ahead of Jimpo right now. And given the fact that not a whole heck of a lot has happened other than that, not a lot of workers killed, not a lot killed, period, that's really a major concern. The only one thing that we have to consider is if Jimpo can just destroy Adel in that first engagement, whenever it does come, and actually it looks like it may be coming soon, but if Jimpo can best Adel in that first engagement, then he can certainly win the game. But if he does not get a very strong victory whenever this first engagement happens, then I'm really, really concerned for him. Really am. Let's take a look at his vision right now. No drops going on. We just got a little bit of Marine harass over there. We still got this factory sitting over here. He also actually just scanned right now these two locations, just checking tech and everything like that. Did manage to spot those Colossus, and now he knows that Colossus are coming out, immediately responding by getting Vikings. Good. That is, of course, the response that you want to do. Jimpo just about finished his 2-2 upgrades, but again, we already are sitting at 2-2 here for Adel, and Adel's got the level 3 armor upgrades coming out at the same time. And he's on 3 bases. He's on 4 bases, and Adel is, Adel is on 4 bases, and Jimpo is just now working into his 3rd. That's my biggest concern. It's the economy. Jimpo has been so far behind in economy. He just did not know how early Adel got up that 3rd. And my gosh, a couple of those ghosts getting demolished there by those Colossus. Going to be stimming up the bio, though, taking out this Colossus, forcing the lift off there. Jimpo, again, continuing to try to suffocate the economy here of Adel. And what are we going to see Jimpo doing? Jimpo, I messed up their names there. Not a big deal. And this is a huge problem, though. Look at this. Jimpo, again, he is just so far behind economically. Let's take a look, though. This is a big engagement. This is what counts. Lots of charge. Zealots moving forward. Huge EMPs going down. We're going to see the bio shred through. Let's try to see some storms. No storms. We had ghosts. We had a High Templar there prepared to drop some storms. Decided not to, though, for some reason. He had all the bio lined up right in his sights, and now he's actually going to be given a second chance for those ghosts to land some EMPs. Nice blanket storm there. They're doing a bunch of damage to the bio of Jimpo, and Jimpo just now re-landing that expansion. Oh my gosh, this is really this is game over. He's too far behind. He's way too far behind economically. He's too far behind in terms of upgrades. We're 3-2 right now, just about to be 3-3 here for Adel, and it's not looking good for Jimpo at all. He just hasn't done much this game whatsoever. He scouted the expansion way too late. I don't even know if he knows. He still does not even know about this expansion right here. And actually, we're going to be seeing a couple of cannons come down here as some static defense. And that is certainly going to help Adel fend off anything like that much easier. We got a proxy pylon over there. Zealot kind of chilling out over here. Where's that drop taking place? There's the one medevac moving in this direction, the other one moving down here. So we will finally be scouting this out. But again, he's going to walk into some cannons and going to take some damage to the medevac before he even lands anything. Full map control right now, going to Adel, no question about that. This medevac's still en route. Let's take a look at this medevac over here. And 1 shot, 2 shots, taking some damage, finally landing down his units. We should be seeing some Zealots warped in, I would assume. No, never mind. Cannon plus probes equals dead drop. That's hilarious and very unfortunate at the same time for Jimpo. We're going to have the forces move up right now for Adel. He's continuing to push towards that 3rd. We got that drop moving in the back of Adel's main at the exact same time. Here come those charged Zealots moving forward. Vikings going straight for those Colossus. We're going to see some nice EMP. Oh my gosh, never mind. There's no EMPs. Oh, that was terrible. Some blanket storms. He took out that expansion. That is why that is so awful right now. And Jimpo is hurting bad. Now he's got this drop coming down here. This should help him a bit, but these charged Zealots honestly should be enough to fend off. And a feedback, taking out the medevac, plus those charge zealots, a couple of cannon shots. See you later drop, that is that. Now, he was so Viking heavy, but there were not a lot of Colossus there for Adel. And again, he took out this expansion. Jimpo is just starving right now. I feel like this has been the entire game. Jimpo just behind economically, and it's just been getting worse and worse. Drop here at the high ground, actually preventing that assimilator from going up and being able to get any Vespene there out of that. We are seeing, oh no, lots of High Templar in a very vulnerable position. What is he doing with these High Templar? He just lost so many, landing one Storm, managing to start to drop an Archon. I don't know what that was. He actually just lost a ton of High Templar there for really no good reason whatsoever. Adel right now is in fact behind in terms of the resources lost, and we're going to see the bio here of Jimpo continue to push across the map. Now here we go, the big death ball of Adel moving in that direction, and actually it looks like Jimpo will be turning around. And I don't know why Adel lost so much of his bio, but let's see what happens right now. Charge zealots moving forward. We got some big upgrade advantage to keep in mind here. We are 3-3 right now for the Protoss army, and Jimpo is only 2-2, and that certainly came into play there as his army gets demolished and Jimpo is forced to call the GG. Adel opened up this game with the same style opening we saw last game, going 1 gate into expand, quickly getting the level 1 armor upgrades. He then moved into his third base. Now typically this would be a very dangerous move, but luckily for him, his opponent did absolutely nothing about it. Jimpo sat idly on 2 bases for quite a while, and this provided a huge advantage for Adel, who was mining from 3 bases. Jimpo attempted a drop around the 13-minute mark. Unfortunately, that did not end up doing too much damage, as he was just a little bit slow after dropping his units to getting that stim down, and Adel was able to respond. Around the 13-minute mark, we saw Jimpo finally scouted Adel's 3rd base. Now this prompted Jimpo to move into a 3rd of his own. Unfortunately, at that time, Adel was already moving into his 4th. So once again, Jimpo behind economically. On 4 bases, Adel moved towards Jimpo's 3rd, which he was able to very quickly drop, and this basically put Jimpo on 1 mining base as his main was already pretty much mined out. Being behind economically for a good portion of the game, and also due to general inactivity, Jimpo was far too behind in terms of upgrades, and Adel was able to quickly mop up his forces in the final big engagement. Alright guys, that was game number 2 here between Adel and Jimpo. We'll be moving on to game 3 in just a moment. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.